Hey guys, Whistlebugs Unfiltered here. Wanted to do a live stream, kind of talk to you guys, chill out a little bit, relax, prevent me from smashing my truck to bits or blowing it up with tannerite. So let's see who joins. Oh, hey, I just messaged you on Facebook. But yeah, I'm taking a real quick break from working on the truck. As you can tell by the title of this stream, fuck that truck. I'm over it. Yeah, well, I mean, I'd hope so. So, but yeah, I got yeah, no shit. Fuck your coin shop. Oh my god. Dude, mine is so much better. Like, so much better. Anyways, so the thing that the journey, I'll call it, with the truck so far is for the past like 3 or 4 months, I've been chasing this misfire issue with the truck and couldn't figure it out. I started with so I had already replaced the fuel pump and fuel filter. So I knew it wasn't that. It can only be a couple of things: fuel, spark, compression, or air. And compression and air kind of go hand in hand. So, so fuel, spark, or compression. Well, the fuel pump is new. All the lines are good. Well, I mean, I got it figured out. Just hear me out what I'm dealing with today. Truck's almost done, but hear me out what I'm dealing with today. So fuel pump's new. Fuel lines are good. One of the fuel lines has actually been replaced because there was a leak. So that's all good. I changed out the spark plugs. So I thought, hey, maybe I got some bad plugs. Well, in the process of changing those out, I broke my spark plug wires. So I got new wires 3 times since then. So I have good wires. Changed out the distributor cap because I noticed that some of the terminals were corroded. And I changed out the coil pack. So spark is good. Well, I also changed out the distributor rotor on the inside and the ignition pickup coil below the rotor. So the whole top half of the distributor is brand new. So it's not spark. I'm getting great spark. Well, then I was like, okay, I really don't want to do this test, but I have to run a compression test. If it fails the compression test, then I know, hey, it lost compression. I just got to rebuild the motor. Nice. But anyways, if it fails the compression test, I know I have to rebuild the motor. Whatever. So ran a compression test. All 8 cylinders are exactly at 150, which is well within spec. The cylinders for my truck, year, and engine, motor, engine, whatever you want to call it, is between 135 and 170 psi, and mine all fall at 150, so well within spec. Not too much on the high end, not too much on the low end. Perfect. So it's not compression, it's not fuel, it's not spark. Well, shit, what else could it be? Well, it's got to be air. The engine's got to breathe. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'll So I did a little bit more research, and turns out a common problem with my truck's motor is the intake plenum gasket goes bad, which creates a massive vacuum leak and is just absolutely horrible. So I ordered that. Spent the day getting spent 4 days getting that one gasket changed out, and all the gaskets on the top end, plus a broken bolt. Getting all that, put the truck all back together. Was like awesome. Like, truck's done. I'm finally done with this thing. Started it up. It ran worse than before. Wasn't misfiring, but it ran worse than before. I'm like, awesome. So I spent an entire day unplugging and replugging in sensors to see if they made a difference. I unplugged the idle air control valve. That made a big difference. So I plugged that back in, cleared the code. Unplugged the map sensor. That made a big difference. Plugged that back in, cleared the code. Unplugged a few more things, see if they made a difference, and they did. So that wasn't it. Made sure all the manifold bolts were all tightened down, because maybe there was still a vacuum leak. Maybe I hadn't tightened them all the way down. So I cranked them down, ran it in with an impact. I know you're not supposed to. Yes. But I know you're not supposed to run an impact on intake manifold bolts because you'll pull the head, but at this point I don't care. Hold on, cigarette's going out. Anyways, so got all that in. It was like awesome. Got it all buttoned back up, bolted up, started the truck, no change. Awesome. So I gave up for a little while. Came inside, was looking online, trying to figure stuff out. I went on a couple of Dodge forums and trying to figure that out. And somebody has suggested O2 sensors. Like, I never checked that. So I went out, I unplugged my front O2 sensor, my upstream O2 sensor. No difference. It made no difference in the way that it ran. Awesome. Unplugged the downstream. So both O2 sensors on my truck, I only have two. Both O2 sensors on my truck are now unplugged, not currently functioning, not talking to the computer at all. And the truck's, still running like shit, but it hasn't changed from when they were plugged in to unplugged. So I took out my front O2 sensor, which I figured, I'm just going to replace them anyways. I'll order new parts, replace it, whatever. Even if they're good, like, I had to cut the wires to get them out. So, because I'm not spending $60 on a fucking O2 sensors socket. Not going to happen. I'll just use a 7/8 inch wrench. So I took out the front one, started the truck. It was loud as shit. Truck ran beautifully. I'm like, okay. So I have a plugged catalytic converter. Or just bad O2 sensors. Either way, I'm going to check the catalytic converter, whatever. So drop my exhaust, had to cut it into pieces, and I'm getting to where I am today. I'm getting close. Had to cut my front of my exhaust into pieces. Hell, had to cut all of my exhaust into pieces just to get it out. So I got it all out, welded everything back up the way that it was supposed to be. And it fits beautifully, by the way. So I did a very good welding job. But got everything, welded up, cut the cat open. And what had happened, and I did have a plugged cat, but not in the traditional sense. When I had cut it open, there's two chunks of that honeycomb stuff that are in there. If you know anything about how catalytic converters work, there's platinum, palladium, and another chemical or another precious metal that's inside the catalytic converter. Well, there's two chunks. They're separated by an air gap. The rear chunk was fine. Still intact, still in place. Yeah, it had some cut marks where I cut open the cat, but it was still intact for the most part. But the front chunk had broken away from the housing, from the actual metal part of the catalytic converter, and had turned sideways. So it wasn't allowing exhaust gases through. So took that out, hollowed out the rest of the cat. So I have no catalytic converter now. So truck's going to be loud as shit. So got all that out, welded it back up, made the weld look halfway decent, because my welder is not the greatest. There's a lot of splatter to it. But got all that, went to go put the exhaust back in. I couldn't get it in, so I had to drop the transmission cross member. Yeah. Fine. No big deal. Pounded that thing out, got it out. Put the exhaust back up. Went to go put the transmission cross member up. Had to beat the hell out of it with a hammer. But I got it in. I got it bolted in. I got the exhaust on. Got my muffler back on. Good, ready to go. Screwed in my downstream O2 sensor that was modified to where it won't throw any codes now that I don't have a catalytic converter. So I modified that. Got went to go put in the front O2 sensor, and the threads on my cat are stripped. So, guess who's just spent the last 2 hours dropping the transmission cross member again, taking the exhaust out, welding on new threads, putting the exhaust back in, and now I'm trying to get the transmission cross member to line back up. I'm so done with this truck. And if you guys want a second gen Dodge, she's free. Come get her. But no, for real though, like, I'm almost done with the truck. Yeah. Don't buy a second gen Dodge. Just don't do it. Don't do it. I think it's 94 to 01, 02, something like that. Don't do it. Go either first gen, if you want to go down that route, or go third, fourth, whatever generation Dodge. 03 and newer. I'll tell you what, Detecting Rods and Reels, I'll send you my truck. I'll pay for shipping and everything on the truck. I will get it out to you, and it will run-ish as best as it wants to. I should say she's a bitch. But I will ship it all out there if you send me every single one of your Doug coins. Then I'll do it. Then I'll do it. Yeah, see it? I didn't think so. Oh, fuck. But I would show you guys the truck. And yeah, my hair's a mess. I don't give a shit. But I would show you guys the truck. But it is outside, and I don't get any service here in the house. I'm on Wi-Fi right now. I don't get any service at all here in the house. I know. But see, you also got to cover shipping, and shipping's a couple $1,000. So, just saying. It's fair trade. Anyways, what was I? No, I'm not scrapping it. I need a vehicle. I can't scrap it. As much as I say I hate my truck and how much she pisses me off, and yes, it is a she, but how much she pisses me off, like, she's still my truck. I'm the only one to be taking care of that truck. But yeah, so I'm the only one to be taking care of that truck in the last 3 years. My cousin bought it used from the original owner down in like Iowa or Illinois, or he was like the third owner, something like that. It was originally registered in Illinois and Iowa and stuff like that. But anyways, he brought it up here. He owned it for years, drove the piss out of it. And then he sold it to my sister, who drove it, didn't take care of it. Sold it to my sister sold it to my other brother, who didn't take care of it. I thought about it a couple of days ago. I was literally trying to find tannerite. Like, I was. But so my sister sold it to my brother. He didn't take care of it. My brother sold it back to my sister. She still didn't take care of it. And then I needed a vehicle to get to and from work. And so I bought it for $1,000. It's 4-wheel drive. Was worth at least $1,000. Since I've owned it, and I bought it in January of this year, December or January. December of last year. I put roughly around $4,500 into a $1,000 truck, just in maintenance parts, like keeping it running. Never the same part, other than the spark plug wires, which pissed me off. And I could go on for hours listing the work I've done and the parts and the stories I have with this damn truck. To name a few, first thing I did when I got it was new front brakes, new front wheel bearings, and 4 brand new tires. That was about $700. I've replaced, starting with the easy stuff, I've replaced fuel pump, replaced fuel lines, fuel tank straps. I've replaced the entire rear suspension, new leaf springs, new rear shocks, because my rear suspension completely failed while driving down the road. I was looking up. No, I hate Chevy even worse. I have a whole another story about that. Don't get me wrong. Like when they run, they're reliable. They're so reliable. I thought about a GMC. I've thought about a GMC. My dad owns a GMC. His is an 09. I really like his truck. Just can't afford it at the moment. Granted, in hindsight, with all the money I'm putting into the truck, plus what I paid for it, I could have bought a decent truck. Oh, come on. What's wrong with Ford? Come on now. No. Okay, no, I'm not getting involved in this. I'm not getting into that conversation right now, so don't. But anyways, all brand new rear suspension. I've replaced idle air control valve, air filter, all the stuff with this misfire crap. Now keep going. You must be a Chevy guy because there's no T in Ford. I mean, I know the T is silent in Chevrolet, but there's no T in Ford. There's no silent T in Ford. No, it doesn't work that way. You want to know what Dodge stands for? Dead on day guarantee expires. Chevrolet, cracked heads, every valve rattles, oil leaks, engine ticks. I can go all day. I mean, yes, there's a lot for Ford. A lot. But, see, now, okay. See, now, like, I don't mind the new aluminum bodies. I mean, yes, you get into an accident, the body of the truck is fucked. Like, it's just gone. And it's expensive to fix. But living up north, I'm sure you can understand, aluminum does not rust at all. Which is nice because I could deal without the rusty body on my truck. Yeah. Yes, it is a bit softer metal, but it's just as strong as it ever needs to be. The frame is still made of steel. You know, the important components are made of steel. It's just the body is made of. Well, and that's fair. That's fair. But, I mean, those trucks are just as safe as the plastic cars that drive around. I mean, what's worse, aluminum or plastic? Think about that. Yeah. But see, now if you're like me, and I'm probably going to jinx myself, so knock on wood, but I've never been in an accident where I was driving that involved another car. I've just hit other things. But see, no, okay. Let me get into this. I've owned a lot of Fords. Okay. I've owned 2 Ford trucks in particular that I kind of want to talk about. I had a 94 Ford F-150 XLT. Loved that truck. It's a boat, but I loved that truck. Fair enough. I'll get into my accidents here in a little bit. But anyways, I had a 94 F-150. It's a boat of a truck. A bitch to turn, but I loved that truck. And then I also had a 97. So the next body style from the 94, the next body style up, 97, and that truck was horseshit. But not a lot goes wrong with those things. Now, granted, yes, it is a Ford. It is going to break, as do all vehicles. Ford just happens to break more. But the stuff that breaks on Fords are easy fixes. Like, I've had starters go out. Starters are no big deal. It's 2 bolts and it comes right out. 2 bolts and then 2 bolts holding in the wires. So 4 bolts. 2 bolts, 2 nuts holding on the wires. Starter comes right out. You can, when I replaced the starter on my 94, I went through like 4 or 5 different F-150 starters. Finally, I managed to grab a starter from a 2001 Mustang GT. I've never hit any deer. A deer has hit me. And I'll explain that in a bit. But anyways, I took a starter from a 2001 Mustang GT, which is the exact same starter. Pulled that, put it on my truck. That starter outlived the truck. Now with my 97, okay, no, back to the 94. My starter solenoid that is up on the fender well, just underneath the hood. That has gone out a couple of times. I've broken it, whatever. But nothing really major. Like, those are all simple fixes, $20 to $50. $50 for a used starter and $20, 10, 15, $20 for starter solenoid. Easy. Towards the end, it started having major issues because I beat the hell out of it. Really beat the hell out of this truck. Ended up blowing out the rear main seal and frying the transmission. So that truck was sold to a buddy of mine who baha'd the hell out of it and scrapped it. Now my 97, that had the common issue with the gas tank because it's a metal gas tank, which was a horrible idea by Ford. It also had the issue with the massive exhaust leak at the manifolds. But I spent like 4 days trying to get those studs out of the motor block, and I got them all, and I replaced them all, and I got it to work, and I fixed the exhaust issue. It was quiet again. It wasn't so loud. No exhaust leaked into the cab anymore. It was fine. So those are the only two real major issues I've ever had with Ford. Chevy, I've owned two Chevys, two Chevy trucks. I had a 97 Chevy S10, an old SM&P work truck. So like a highway, like power line little work truck. And that thing was a screaming metal death trap. The brake system was so bad. Literally everything in the brake system needed to be replaced. Lines, calipers, all the drum brakes, the disc brakes up front, just everything. Every single thing with the brake system needed to be replaced. It wasn't worth replacing, so we scrapped it. Now, the first vehicle that I ever got a loan on was a 2000 Chevy Silverado. I love that truck. It had basically no rust on it, no rust on the body at all. For being a Wisconsin truck its entire life was really impressive. And 6 months after me owning it, there was $2,000 worth of suspension damage, and I didn't drive it that hard. I drove it to work and back, and that was it. So I traded that in back to the dealership, and I got a 2015 Ford Fiesta. It was brand new at the time. It had 4 miles on it when I bought it. 1 mile of that was me test driving it. But anyways, getting into my accidents, my first real accident was in my 97 Chevy S10. I think it was 2-wheel drive. It had bald tires, little to no brakes. Power steering worked when it wanted to, and it's really light, like really light. So light that most people put, like sandbags and stuff in the back, like in the bed to weigh it down. Yeah, well, I had a topper on it because it came with the truck and it was all wired in and I didn't want to take it off. So I had a little topper on it. So what I did during the winter, when I needed it, I'd fill the entire bed of the truck with snow. Because in Wisconsin, I would have. But in Wisconsin and in most states, you don't need your back window in a truck. You can spray paint your back window black, and the cops don't care. So I filled that fucker up with snow, packed it down, threw water on it, let it freeze into ice, packed it more, just kept doing that, and finally I'm carrying around this like 4 foot by 6 foot by like 4 foot tall chunk of ice in the back of my truck that's really heavy. So I had enough weight. But I was driving back home one day, middle of the day, and it's like February, so there's still snow on the ground, but the roads are kind of decent. There's still like slush and whatever on the roads, whatever. And I'm going down a slight hill. And off to the left, there's a gas station connected to a Burger King. And I decided, hey, I want Burger King. I'm going to stop and get some food. So, and I knew my stopping distances. I knew how long it would have taken me in this truck. I knew the truck. So I go to stop. I'm not stopping. I'm sliding. Like I'm slowly pushing the brakes more and more and more, and I'm sliding. And I'm like, okay, maybe I can just turn the wheel and just pull into the parking lot. Because the parking lot was dry. And I could just stop in the parking lot, collect myself, go get my food, and then head home. Well, I turned the wheels, and I didn't do one of these. I did one of these. And kept sliding. And I'm like, great. And there's one of those big, the big telephone poles right into the driveway. And standing up, and I'm like, great. No, I don't want to hit this pole. I don't want to hit this pole. I don't want to, fuck it, I'm going to hit the pole. Fuck. And I turn, and I must have caught some pavement at the right time, and ended up stuck on the curb in the snowbank next to the telephone pole. So that wasn't technically an accident. I did manage to avoid it, but I was stuck. So, and oddly enough, a Ford pulled me out. F-150 single cab, long bed. Ugly truck. Anyways, my next one was with my 94. Yes, I got my Burger King. I left the truck on the curb and went up and got my sandwich. Came back out after I got done eating, and that's when that guy with the Ford pulled up. He's like, you need some help? Yes. So anyways, next one was with my 94 F-150. I was driving through town, right through my town, like in the city. Not like city, like skyscraper city, but in town. So there shouldn't be any deer in town, like in the middle of town. Like I could see you like at the edges of town. In the middle of town, I'm driving through. It's late at night. It's like 8, 9 o'clock at night. But at this point, it was dark. I'm driving through, and at this point, the truck was not in my name. It was still in my parents' name. I was buying it, but the title and everything was still in their name. So they had, so I was driving through town, and out of nowhere, a deer comes running up on my driver's side and headbutts my fender. I hear some more noise, and then I don't see the deer. The only thing I'm worried about, because no one else was near me, like the roads were completely empty. The only thing I'm worried about is, oh fuck, Mom and Dad are going to kill me. Like the fender's damaged, like I am screwed. So I pulled into the nearest parking lot to get out and assess the damage, figure out what I'm going to do and what I'm going to tell Mom and Dad. So I get out and I look and hit the driver's side fender, right? Looking at my door, looking at the fender, looking at the headlight, the grill, hood. Not a dent. Nothing at all. So I'm like, okay, sweet. I go, what the hell happened to the deer? Well, at the time, I had metal running boards. Those metal running boards that you see on all those Ford trucks. And actually, if you go on my Facebook page, my personal Facebook page, you scroll through my photos, you'll see a picture of the brown truck with the metal running boards on it. Well, up front, holding on part of the metal running boards was a metal mud flap that came down like this. And there was blood on it. And there was blood and deer hair all the way down my running board. I'm like, what the hell happened? So I pull back out on the road and I look. My metal mud flap decapitated the deer and the head rolled down my metal running board. Body's laying over there, head's laying over there. Yeah. Other than that, I haven't really been in any other accidents. Not where I was driving. I've been in accidents where I was not driving. That did not involve another car. But none while I was driving. Are you damn right? I love that truck. And then the running boards rusted out, or the running boards rusted out. So I took them off. I kept them out of med flaps though. Left them things on until I sold it. I've been. Hey, Bam Bam, you totally just missed story time. You have to go back and watch the first 35 and a half minutes of this stream. I'll talk to you guys for one more smoke. And then I have to go out and finish this truck. I'm almost done. But I'll talk to you guys for one more and then whatever. But the reason why I'm coughing is I've been sick the past couple of days. Tomorrow will be the first official part of the contest. So make sure to watch my main channel for that video. And again, after every video, I will contact all of you guys who are entered. I don't have the paperwork with me, but at this point, it doesn't matter who you're facing. It's just for my reference. But the first part of it will be tomorrow. Okay. And then there'll be a second part of it, hopefully on Saturday or Sunday coming out. So there'll be 2 videos coming this weekend that you need to watch. You need to be a part of. Nice. Drape bust what? Well, I mean, drape bust anything would be great. Yeah. That'd certainly be pretty good. Oh, hey, and detecting rods and reels. You know those coins that I asked you to... You know those coins that I asked you to keep an eye out for? Like the 18, and the half cent, the quarter, and I think dime. Remember me asking you about those yesterday? Yep. You managed to look those up? Because, correct. Because I was testing you, none of those coins exist. 1801 half cent, 1826 dime does not exist. 1830 quarter does not exist. Testing you. No, I'm good. I'm actually working on. Oh, hey, who's the third person here? Bam Bam detecting and who? Fair enough. Ah. Fair enough. I mean, you got to understand, like pennies were the most used coin, and therefore the most dropped. Oddly enough, nickels are the things that I find the most. For some reason, my detector picks them up. No matter how much I dial my detector, and yes, I do have a Pioneer 101 by Bounty Hunter, which is just absolute garbage. It's falling apart. It's broken. Whatever. But no matter how much I try to dial it in for copper and silver, it still picks up nickel. What? Mm-hmm. See, now, usually, like, I will dig it all. Like, I'll turn off all the discriminate, turn off all the settings, everything, just have it beep everything. But, like, there are a lot of trash signals, like, a lot. A lot of, like, nails and scraps of aluminum. Aluminum sounds great, by the way. Pull tabs, pop cans, just a lot of iron junk I don't want to deal with. Now, when I get a better detector, absolutely I'm going to dig it all, no matter what. I'm releasing a video tomorrow about it, Bam Bam. And then hopefully another one. Yes, aluminum does sound like silver. But hopefully another video on Saturday or Sunday. So there'll be 2 videos this weekend. Wise. Why? Ah. I hate Google. That's fair. I mean, I'm okay with digging big coppers or copper of any kind. Yeah. Okay. I will do. Coin collecting Texas. Will do. Mm-hmm. All right. I don't. Aha! Aha! I got it. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I'd say so. Oh, I have some news for you guys. I should really say this on my main channel, but since you guys are here, I have recently come across a deal and a steal of a lifetime, and I'm taking full advantage of this. So I have a friend whose grandpa is a coin collector. And he's been collecting for years. And he wants to get rid of his collection. Now, I talked to my friend, and she talked to her grandpa. And I asked, I go, well, how much does he want? You know, because I'll buy as much as I can. Because she said, you know, she thinks he's selling it for really, really cheap. I'm like, I'll buy as much as I can. I don't care. Well, he got back to her and to me And he goes, well, he goes, I don't want anything. He goes, I just sent an entire tote, like one of those generic Walmart totes that you get, those plastic totes. He just sent an entire tote full of coins to one of his friends online for free. Like stacked full of coins. He has, and I've seen pictures, he has 4 bookshelves, ceiling to floor, 4 of them, full of nothing but coin books. Plus he has a file cabinet full of nothing but coin folders and more coins and 3-ring binders full of coins. And he's got 9 like big like Costco like totes full of nothing but loose coins. And he wants to give it away. I am taking full advantage of this opportunity. So I gave my friend a list. I said, this is specifically, no, not kidding at all. I'm actually really, really pumped. I gave them a list. I said, this is what I'm looking for specifically. Like these decades, anything in these decades I'll take. I thought about it. Although I don't know if he would do that. So I said, get a hold of your grandpa, go over to your grandparents' house, bring this list, and grab everything that you can that fits this list. If you have any questions about anything, because my friend knows absolutely nothing about coins, nor do I want them to know anything about coins at this point. Because, I mean, they're going to totally take advantage of this and just nab it for themselves, and I want it. But I said, anything on this list, grab, send to me. I don't care what it is. I don't care what condition it's in. I don't care what it is. Send it to me. On this list, a few of the things on this list. Hold on. I said, anything 1700s or older, whether it be American or foreign, doesn't matter. 1700s, so 1799 or older. Any large, and by large, I mean quarter size or bigger, silver. Anything gold, obviously. I don't care if it's a little itty bitty nugget of gold. I don't care. Any gold coins, I don't give a shit. Grab them if you can. And then I listed off a couple of decades. 1870s was one of the decades. I'm not going to list all the decades because there's a lot of them. But 1870s for sure, because anything in the 1870s is harder to come by. 1890s. 1890s dime or bigger. Because those are hard to come by. 1880s nickels. Anything with an S, O, CC, or W mint mark. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know at all. Anyways, so I gave him this list, and I said, grab anything and everything that fits this list. And then I sent him pictures. I sent them pictures of what seated Liberty coins look like, what Barber coins look like, what Indian head pennies look like, especially from the 1870s. So I'm hoping there's a 77 in there. That'd be awesome. Yes, Um, 1880s and 1890s were on there. I said anything 1921 American because 1921 was a low mintage year. I explained to them what a 1909 SVDB was and try and grab him if he's got any. Didn't tell them how much it was worth. Yeah. But so, hopefully soon, I will have a massive coin haul coming in. Hopefully. So, and you guys are the first ones to know about that. So don't spoil it. Because when I get all this, I'm going to be going through it live with you guys. So my first time seeing all these is going to be. So when I get the package or when I get the coins, whatever. Yeah, I did say anything 1916. I did show her what Standing Liberty quarters looked like. I explained what, the 1932 Washington quarters were. And if they had a mint mark, they were worth a little bit more. Yeah, so there's going to be a lot more coming. Like a lot. But anyways, so for real this time, after this, I have to go. I have to finish the truck tonight. And that's what this stream is about. Truck. But got a little bit sidetracked talking about coins. I could talk about coins all day. So anyways, but yes, there's going to be a lot more coming. I told them that I'll pay for shipping. I don't care how much it costs to ship. All right, later, Bam Bam. But I told him, I don't care how much it costs to ship. I don't know. But I don't care how much it costs to ship. I don't care how many of them are. I don't care how big of a box you put it in. I will pay for shipping. Or I will come pick them up. You just gotta get them. So I don't want to be going through everything and just want everything, But I mean, if he's willing to just get rid of his collection, will be more than happy to take care of it for him. Make sure it's in good hands. This is the opportunity of a lifetime, and I am absolutely taking advantage of it. So what I'm sure you will. There will be a lot more presents because I'm not doing any more giveaways, like public giveaways. But there will be a lot more gifts and presents to people. I am always up for trades. If you got something you want to trade, and this goes to anybody. If you guys got anything you want to trade, by all means, make an offer. I'm going to be pretty open because, I'm getting all of these for free. I ain't paying a damn thing other than shipping or gas to drive out there and back. And it's like 3.5 hours away, guys. I don't know yet. It depends on what coins I get because some of these are going to stay in my personal collection because I am building a few sets. And I do want to start my typeset again. But some of them are going to be in my personal collection. So once I get them and I go through them all and figure out what I have and what I kind of want to do with them, then I'll go for that. Yes, I know what you're looking for. And if there's anything in there, you and I can work out a deal. Any drape bust or flowing hair silvers, we can work out a deal. So, I doubt he has any of those. But she said he's been collecting, or they've said that he's been collecting for a long time. So I'm assuming he has a lot. Now, I do want to talk to you guys because, and especially you detecting rods and reels, because he is looking for a few things. He does want a few things in trade for some of these. He's looking for old bus tokens or transit tokens or old bar tokens. And I know those come up in metal detecting quite a bit. So if you have any, please let me know. Please let me know. Send them my way. I'll give them to him and I will send you something in return. That is what he is currently collecting. It's old transit tokens and old bar tokens. I think he's even collecting some of the modern stuff too. So that is what he's currently collecting. And that's what I know for sure he wants in trade. I don't have any. I've never really been in that market. Exactly. But nice. But he is collecting transit tokens, bus tokens in particular, that I know of. But I'm assuming just all transit tokens will be fine. And bar tokens. So again, if you have any of them or you come across any of them, oh damn. But if you have any of them or come across any of them, send them my way. I will give them to him and I will send you something from his collection in return. If you know a way to get a hold of any or you have some, get them. Send them my way. I will send you something from his collection in return. CCT, I will later on tonight. I have to go finish the truck. And I just finished my smoke, so I have to go, guys. Bam, you come back at the worst times. You're just going to have to rewatch this whole stream. But anyways, I do have to go. I have to finish the truck. I have to. I absolutely have to. Because I got to get home to Miss Wistex. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. Till next time.